In the fading daylight, our troops have managed to capture another important objective, Vyazov, on the road from Bolshoi-Sabsk to Leningrad. Our tanks have already started to move towards Volna, the next village along the road. Further south along the line, the village of Peleshi has not been fully secured yet, but we might be able to use it as a springboard for a breakthrough towards Gankovo. Hello there, and welcome to another awesome episode of our raging Bridgehead campaign in Graviteam Tactics Mius-Front. We will now finish turn number 4 together, and we will see in what situation we find ourselves in. Okay, so let's go. Okay, some units are getting repaired, that's always good. Repairs are being performed. Ammunition is being distributed. Unit returned from the repair, that's good, that's great. Units digging in, receiving more ammunition. More repairs, nice. This is very nice. A unit down there? Okay, they repaired one, alright. Very good. This is very good, so we had some repairs going on. Let's actually go ahead and check our second tank company really quick. How is their situation? This tank is alright. These tanks are perfectly fine actually. So here we still have 3 tanks that need repairs in the repair shop. One tank was of course completely destroyed. And in this platoon we have 1 more tank that needs a repair in a repair shop. So this unit will stay here for a while. They are receiving repairs, and there is right now another tank in the shop for repairs. A Panzer III. Okay. So here's the situation. We have captured Vyazov. We will have to redeploy forces to make sure that we hold on to this. We have still control of Maximovka and this area down here. I don't think the enemy will be strong enough to make a push across the river. I think that's unlikely, and I might be able to use Maximovka or Vyazov up here, maybe both, to advance on Alexandrovka up here. So our main focus for now should be to secure Volna here, this area. If we can secure this area, this will net me 2 more victory points. And here in the south we should aim to push towards Gankovo and to take this very valuable point here. Okay. The enemy, they are entrenching. That's a bit concerning. I see almost exclusively entrenched enemies. But yeah, I have to think a little bit about how I will approach this and how I will deploy my forces. So I will cut the video here, and I'll get you back into the action once I've figured it out for myself. See you soon. And we are back. So I failed to spot this little short historical note that we received. At 11 PM the Germans captured Gankovo. So that's what we are aiming for. It is now 9 o'clock, 2100. So we have 2 hours, or well, 1 turn, to capture Gankovo. We will not achieve this in 1 turn. No, excuse me, we have 2 turns. Because right now it is 9 o'clock, next turn it will be 11 o'clock. So we have 2 turns to advance to this key point here if we want to keep up with the historical advance. And we will try that. I am moving around a lot of forces, trying to bring everybody up to the front line because the rapid advance during the past turns has spread my units out a little bit. So I'm trying to set the stage for a few crucial advances here. Units will move up. The 118th Infantry Regiment will be south of the river, around here. The 113th will be in generally this area and will try to push along this highway here towards Gankovo. Up here in the north, tanks and mechanized infantry are moving to Vyazov, or into the vicinity of Vyazov. They will attempt to continue advancing down this highway up here. But they will not attack this turn, they will just move into positions and set a stage for an attack next turn. We will have one attack here. This unit will attack into this position here. I want to have Peleshi secured completely. So that's what I'm aiming for. And this attack is supposed to set a stage for an assault towards the east and Gankovo. Will this work? I have no idea. Let's find out. So, we are ending the turn together. Okay, movements are happening. Good, 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 good. And we get our battle. But it's actually... Oh, this will be interesting. They are attacking me. Huh. So they are trying to get Peleshi back. Interesting. This will be a very interesting battle. For sure. The enemy has some units that I've already fought before. And I know that those units have suffered heavy casualties. But what I don't know is what else is in the backline here. There could be fresh units around here, in this area, or maybe even here in the swamps. I don't know that. I will find out though. It will be interesting. Let's have a look. Did everything else work as I planned it to? Not 100%. This recon unit did not move onto the battlefield. So they didn't make the movement. Everybody else pretty much moved where I told them to, at least in this area. Let's keep looking. These guys... No, up here in the north, not everybody managed to get into position. And the enemy did make some movements as well. There are unknown units in Volna. They might become a concern in the next turn. For now though, this will be the only battle of this turn. Yeah. Yes, everything else seems to have worked out fine, or more or less as I planned it, except for this area up here. But yeah, it could have been worse. At least most of the units made it to where they were supposed to go. However, I'm not sure why these tanks are now here. They were ordered to go up here, these ones as well. This is weird. So I will need another turn to get into position here in the north. At least these engineers made it into Maximovka, that's very important. Okay. Now, I don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. Let's go into the battle and let's fight this. It will be interesting. I have a feeling that this might be tough. This might indeed be difficult. Let's see. Let me welcome you to today's battlefield, where we will fight a very special and very exciting battle, I'm sure of that, and I'll tell you why. There are a few things that we need to take into account here. First of all, let me speak about my plans. I plan to attack past Peleshi towards this farmstead. I want to control this road that leads towards Gankovo, so that in the next turn I can attack there. So securing this road will be my main objective, pushing towards this farmstead, capturing it, controlling all the area around it. That's my main objective, and I will achieve that with a lot of mechanized infantry. I have multiple units of mechanized infantry. They will push through Peleshi, securing this forest, and then pushing further, securing this farmstead. I aim to accomplish this within 1 hour. But there's a problem. The enemy is attacking as well. I believe they will be attacking from this forest towards Peleshi, so straight into my flank. That will make this whole thing challenging. Also, I do know that the enemy has some BT-5 tanks somewhere in this area over here. They could have more tanks in this area here, because why would they otherwise attack towards Peleshi? I smell trouble. And if they have tanks, I'm in really big trouble, because my anti-tank assets, well, they are few and far between. I have a few 5cm PaK 38 guns. They are positioned in this tree line here, where I hope they will get side shots on any tanks that might approach Peleshi from the north. Other than that, well, I have a few anti-tank rifles here and there. I mean, if these BT-5s go for a push on these units, I have a single squad of anti-tank rifles that can do anything about that, and only at very close range. Very dangerous situation. I have a few half-tracks that are armed with guns. Let me show you one. This here. But as you can see, the gun on this thing is just a 3.7cm anti-tank gun. So it is really bad. And if there's anything heavier than a BT tank, then, well, even a BT tank can bounce these shots. I mean, they're really not good. We'll see. If that happens, I'm in trouble. So, there's another thing that will influence this battle. As you can see, the sun is very low. It's almost gone entirely. So this battle will be fought in darkness. And I don't know how this will look on YouTube. From my Cold Waters videos, I know that YouTube really likes to screw with the quality and likes to pixelate things when the color is dark. I'm sure some of you have noticed this. There's nothing I can do about it, that's just a YouTube compression at work. I don't know how this battle will look. Please leave some feedback in the comments, I would appreciate that, just so that I can know if night battles are even viable here. Because we now have sunset, we will have further battles at night, and it will be even darker then. I have to know if this works. I will have some flares that will drop by artillery. I have some mortars that can shoot flares, I believe. The infantry can shoot flares. There will be a lot of tracer fire, of course, so that will bring us some illumination, but still leave me some feedback on this, please. Now, before we commence the battle, a viewer has asked me, Burby123, excuse me, has asked me if I could maybe explain how the off-map artillery system works. I have a dedicated video on how on-map artillery works, a tutorial. If you want to know how that works, I'm linking the video right now if I don't forget it. Otherwise you will have to look on my channel where you can find it. It's a pretty good video. But I did not make a dedicated video on off-map artillery, and the reason for that is because I believe that developers will introduce more changes to this system. So if I make a video right now, I believe it would be outdated pretty quickly. So I'm not doing that. But I will give a brief explanation on how this whole stuff works. Now, the first thing that you need to note is there are two types of artillery. And you can differentiate them by their icons. You can see here that this gun icon here has a little page icon right next to it. This indicates that this light field howitzer battery is scheduled support. What does that mean? Scheduled support means that you have to plan the fire missions for this artillery during the deployment phase. You cannot plan new fire missions during the initial orders phase or during the battle itself. So what you plan now, the strikes that you order to do now, are all that you will get during the battle. While here, this normal artillery that does not have this little page symbol, this can be used during the battle. I can call in more strikes during the battle, no problem there. So, that's a big difference that you need to be aware of. If it has this little page icon, call in the strikes during the deployment phase. Use this button here to set up delays so that you can spread out the strikes and plan attacks. For example, I've ordered some strikes towards this farmstead, this house, this farmstead here, that will arrive at, I think, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So already planned to be there in that area at that time. I want to complete my push within 1 hour, if I can. So, if you call in artillery, you can do this. You just take the cursor and you place it down where you want the artillery to land. And a few numbers will appear here. Now, what are those numbers? The first number is the time in seconds that the battery will need to prepare itself. So after the strike has been called, the battery will need 31 seconds to commence firing. The second number is the dispersion in meters. So the rounds will start to land within a 30-meter circle around this point. The last number indicates the distance of the battery to this position. So the mortar battery is 2 kilometers away from here. The arrow here shows you where the battery is, the direction. So this battery is 2 kilometers to the northwest. That has a direct effect on the dispersion of your shells and also on the time that the shells need to arrive. Okay. You can place the cursor down like this, just creating a single point, or you can hold right click and drag it out. And what happens now is you see multiple points appear. We have a mortar battery here with 6 mortars. Each of these mortars will aim at one of these points. So by dragging it out, you can control how focused the strike will be. You can have it very focused in basically one single location. You can have it in a tight spread, or you can create a really big spread like this. But there's an important thing to note here. Just because you drag it out all the way like this, does not mean that all of this area between the points will be hit. Each mortar will aim at his point. So if you drag it out like this, it's more than likely that the area in between the points will not be hit at all. Be aware of that, especially with weapons that have a low dispersion, like for example these field howitzers here. If we have a look at their aiming cursor, where is it? There it is. If we have a look at their aiming cursor, the battery is only 3 kilometers away from the battlefield. That's not a lot. So if we drag it out like this, each gun will aim at one of these points, and at only 3 kilometers they will have barely any dispersion on those shells. So what you will create is basically a tight cluster of shells here, another tight cluster of impacts here, here and here. The area in between will not be affected. So it's better to have this battery concentrated like this. This way you can hit the trench network really well, and everything from here to here basically will be gone. So keep that in mind, please. There's another thing that you can do. You can drag it out like this, but you can also drag it out vertically like this and create multiple rows. What does this mean? The battery will start to fire at the first row, and after each gun has fired 5 shots, the battery will switch to the next row. Once again, each gun will fire 5 shots in this row, and then they will switch to the next row. So you can create some form of walking barrage to hit maybe multiple trenches, or to make sure that the forest is really cleared in front of your troops. But if I want to hit all 3 rows, I need to allocate enough ammunition to this fire mission. I would actually need to fire 15 shells per gun to make sure that I hit all 3 rows. Remember that. But it's a cool thing that you can do. It's really useful. So, what else is there to talk about? Zero-in fire missions is the last thing that I will mention, and then we are going on to the battle. Zero-in fire missions, what do they do? These are only available with artillery that is not scheduled, artillery that you can still use during the battle. let's place a fire mission marker down here. And if we now call in a 0 in fire mission, what will basically happen is that the artillery observer will try to compute a firing solution for this point, and he will use the battery to fire shells into this area so that he can make sure that he has his coordinates correct. The benefit that this gives you is that if you have zeroed in on an area and during the battle you place another strike nearby, this strike will have much improved accuracy and a shorter call-in time than without this 0 in fire mission. So it is very beneficial to call in 0 in fire missions in areas where you think you will need artillery during the battle. You can only call in 0 in fire missions before the battle, so you have to do it during the deployment phase or the initial orders phase. You cannot 0 in or call in 0 in fire missions during the battle itself. If you order a strike during the battle itself that has terrible accuracy, like this one, well, 140 meters is still pretty good, then what will happen is that the first rounds of the strike will be fired by the battery one by one, and after each impact, or for each impact, the artillery observer will keep his eyes open and look for the impact. If he can see the impact, then the accuracy will improve. The battery will fire another shell. Once again, if he can see the impact, the accuracy will improve. He will continue this until the accuracy is good enough that the battery can start a full fire for effect mission. That usually happens once the accuracy is below 100 meters. With 0 in, this can work better. There's a specialty with 0 in fire missions. If I were to call in a 0 in fire mission at this coordinates here, the battery would not have to fire a single shot. The observer has so good vision on this area that he's able to compute the strike without having to verify it by shooting an artillery round. So I think your accuracy needs to be below 70 or 80 meters for that to work. And I think that's that. Pick up the cursor, right click. Select your ammunition, for example high explosive flares. Select how many rounds per gun you want to shoot. Select the delay, if you want it to fire immediately or after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something completely else, you can select it at your own will. And then hit this button to add a fire task. And the task will be completed in the order that they are given or that they are planned, because obviously if you set delays, then they will be fired once the allocated time is reached. So that was a very short introduction to off-map artillery. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll try to answer. With that all said, I think it's time to go. Let's finish the deployment. And let's see, is there anything that we need to order right now? I believe there is. Farmstead here is not in my hands and I want it to be mine. So we will move up some units. Okay, those units are defending there, these units are defending up here. Some units will move up to capture these houses. Where are you sitting? You are sitting in that house, that's fine. You will advance into that house, you are sitting there. I could have you move into this big building here. Let's actually do that. So these moves will be immediately executed, that's good. Then over here I had placed an artillery observer in the open to plan some scheduled artillery strikes. He of course needs to go back to safety. So let's order this move. You basically run away. Same with you. Run away. They will keep running. Everybody else is looking good. And everybody else will stay put for the moment. I could order the troop movement that I want up here. I want to send up troops to make sure that I control this forest here. And I will have them positioned on the edge of the forest so that they gain control of the open ground out here to deny enemy movements. Do I set that up now or do I do it during the battle? That's the question. I mean, I could do it during the battle, but let's maybe do it really quick right now. I have some scouts up here, I believe. Yes, these scouts. I want them to move up and to make sure that this forest here is actually empty, but I don't want them to get close enough to run into these artillery strikes. So what we will do is we will have them attack in a line, of course. Normal dispersion, everything is looking fine. You will just move slowly and it will be okay. And with that done, let's actually start the battle. Let's see how dark it will get. Key point taken, okay. I have control of the town. Unit lost. I guess it's a machine gun that's not functional. Yes, a machine gun abandoned. I'm not sure why, to be honest. It doesn't look damaged. It has 2 persons available as crew. They do have ammunition for it. The experience... They're only trained, but their morale is good. I'm not sure why they're abandoning it. Maybe they will come back to it, I don't know. Okay, artillery strikes. I think those will just be zero-in fire missions, nothing spectacular. And the sun is setting. Pretty soon it will get really dark. I think it's still okay for now. So with that all done, let's see, when did I... Okay, that's actually a real artillery strike coming down on that area. Who did I order to do that strike? It was you. You are the observer for the 10.5 centimeter light field howitzers. I think for these ones, yes. That was... oh, just a fire mission. Just a fire mission to cover my approach into these houses. Nothing too crazy. By the way, you guys did not advance as much as I wanted to, so please do it. Advance into that house. Make sure that we control it. Okay, I have a few scout units here in the village. I want to use those to reconnoiter the road. So they will move along the road. Give me a double line, give me a sparse formation. Move slow and move by road to here. I just want to see if there's anything in this forest. And yeah, don't crawl. Same, by the way, for the scouts up there, otherwise they will never arrive at their designated positions. You guys, you can walk. Now, here is my mechanized infantry sitting in their half-tracks. Another unit is back here. I will set them into motion soon enough. For now, we have the first sightings of enemies in the forest, just where I expected them. Signal flares are going up, indicating enemy presence. At daytime, they use these black smoke flares. At nighttime, they use these blue flares. So basically, the commanding unit is shooting up flares in the direction of the enemy to alert other friendly units to their presence. My scouts might run into those guys. By the way, this machine gun that's apparently immobilized. No crew. I really don't know why, but do me a favor and get into cover at least. More enemy movement in the open. Interesting. Just infantry moving. I've told all my units to hold fire, as usual, because I don't want to give my positions away prematurely. Ideally, I want to ambush the enemy units. So this is always what I'm trying to do. These guys look like cable units, don't they? Let's see. Yeah, that's a cable unit. They are laying wires. And you guys here really suck at hiding, by the way. No, I'm leaving you there for now. If you move now, you will be detected. But your position is quite terrible. You are trying to use some shallow craters, but against that direction it's not providing a lot of cover. Okay, shooting has started. Somebody has noticed somebody. Artillery is coming down in that area, which might be a good thing, because there is some enemy movement there. Okay, shooting is starting here in the village. Yeah, they're shooting at this unit. I believe it's okay if you guys defend yourselves. My scouts here in the north did not encounter any resistance so far. So I will start a movement of the other units. I want to move you guys. You will move up to the scouts. I will have a mortar strike coming down on this position, so that's why I don't want to move them up any further than this. With my scouts advancing into this forest, my artillery hopefully suppressing the enemy, I want to start the movement of my mechanized units. So let's do that. You guys and you guys. Who else? You, of course. Oh, I have to mount these guys up first. Let's do that first. These guys are not in their vehicles. They should be. Mount. I think we have the same issue with this unit back here. Yes, we do. You guys get into those half-tracks, so that you're ready to move out. Okay, this is looking good. The whole unit is getting ready. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Your leader, and your machine gun units together with the silly truck. Now, who did not get selected? Who are you? Who do you belong? Ah, okay, you belong to this unit. Okay, you guys together with the truck. You guys, and you guys. Now I have everybody selected. You are free to move into this forest here. I want you moving down the road. I want you to move fast. I want you to stay on the road. Single file. Tight formation. Do I want a tight formation? No. Let's do it like this. That's a big order. That's a lot of guys that will start to move now. Look at the headlights blazing into existence. This will be quite awesome looking. Now let them sort themselves out. It will take some time. But then this whole unit will be on the move. Here in the town, the struggle continues. Anti-tank gun has been sighted. Oh, that's actually bad right now. That's actually really bad right about now. With my half-track starting their movement. This is literally the worst thing that could happen right now. So I will have the units here open fire. But this unit, they need to get into better cover before they do that. Otherwise they will get slaughtered. Everybody here, not including the anti-tank guns, you are free to fire. If you would be so kind to take out this anti-tank gun, that would be lovely. Oh, it's a big one too. Please take it out before it could kill any of my half-tracks. They are starting to move out of the forest now. Make that a priority target if you can. Where exactly is my mortar observer? He's sitting there. Can he maybe target that gun? He might be able to do that. That's decent accuracy for a mortar. So give me high explosive. Give me 10 per gun. Immediately. Call it in. Oh, there's one more gun in the forest. And it did just open fire. Half-tracks keep driving through. Push, 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 push. Oh, we have a traffic jam in the forest. Yeah, of course we do. Sort it out, guys, come on. Be professionals. Oh, those guns are shooting at these guys, are they? Okay, let's already prepare a second strike. It will go towards here. Same settings. Every unit in the town will now be allowed to open fire. We need cover for the approaching half-tracks. Machine guns are free to open up if they have targets. Convoy is slowly sorting itself out. Good, 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 good. More anti-tank guns at the farmstead. Oh, bad. Very bad, in fact. Ah, look at those flares dropping from the sky. That's so nice. Okay. Anti-tank gun. At least one, possibly more, at the farmstead. It's a problem. It's certainly a problem. Okay, mortars are starting to fire. The question is, will this observer have eyes on the impacts, or do I need to move him? I could move him to the edge of the trees over here. That might help him to spot the splashes. Another gun has been sighted, or a gun has been moved. No, it's another gun that's been sighted. I will have him call in another strike then. There we go, that's a good one. Suppress these guns, man. Suppress these guns. Adjustment fire failed. Machine guns are working. Half-tracks, I did not allow you to open fire, but you're doing it anyway. I don't want the half-tracks to open fire. Because if they do that, then they will stop. There will be disruptions in the convoy. And it will all go to shit, so please don't open fire. Just keep driving. You belong to this unit here. Same thing really, don't open fire. Just keep driving, don't stop. It's dangerous to stop for you now. Executed partially, yeah, I don't like that. Okay, my mortars are starting to land. And it's not looking bad. At least one of the shells landed quite close to the gun, and you can see that a lot of the crew is wounded. A lucky hit just behind the gun will take them all out, which would be perfect. Now, is there anything else I can do here in this situation? I could have my own guns open up, but I do want to keep them hidden for now. Just as an insurance against enemy tanks. Meanwhile, my half-tracks are continuing their move. Which is good. Keep moving. Don't give those guns a chance to zero in on you. Keep moving. You will be free to open fire once you have reached this position up here. You will actually literally need to open fire and fight this gun. Let's maybe give this order already now. You guys? Oh, now it's not visible anymore. It's not visible right now. Oh, this is a lovely sight. Here's an incendiary strike coming down on this little farm here. Making sure that there are no Soviets sitting inside these buildings, or that there are any buildings left. Just securing my flank. Okay, first half-track, you are allowed to fire at anything now. And I want you to focus down that anti-tank gun once it comes into view. Focus on the area in the front. Bog down. Who? There it is. Dismount. Who is bogged down apparently? Oh, a few trucks got themselves messed up. Yeah, thanks guys. Great job. Ah, damn it. So, that did not work out as planned. Now we have a nice roadblock here. Who got himself stuck? One of those guys got stuck, everybody else tried to get around him. Ah, damn it, I should have left the trucks in the back. Useless things. It's okay. It's okay. It could be worse, right? Could be that I maybe didn't order everybody to open fire on enemy infantry. Okay. Now that you're out of your vehicles, there's no sense in not letting you fire at anything. Do it. You focus down that gun too. Yeah, do get in front of the other half-track. I'm sure that's fine. Oh, man. They are causing issues right now. Okay, stop there and turn that way. You too. We'll focus on an arc. Okay, let's select this arc. Come on, give it to me. There we go. Yeah, they are now focusing down that gun with machine gun fire. That's a good thing. Did I hear a gunfire over here somewhere? Not sure. I'd say so far the operation is progressing well enough. I have advanced units into this forest that I still need to advance to the edge of the forest. So let's continue to do that right now. You will get to here, and afterwards you will take up defensive positions. And the other guys behind you, they will do the same thing. They will move up to here. Then they will walk to here. And afterwards they will set up a defense in that direction. And I accidentally ordered 2 trucks to move up. They will not do that, they will stop. These guys here are in a nice crossfire, and my mortars are continuing to target this area. Also my machine guns are causing a lot of trouble for sure. I could go and order another mortar strike onto them. But let's first complete these 2, then we will see if we need more. For now my vehicles are still advancing, I didn't lose a single one, that's good. And everything is progressing according to plan. Now if we manage to take out that gun over there... Oh my god, that has a lot of crew, man. That's an issue. Where is the observer for this battery sitting? He's in a tree line. Actually, I could use him to break up these guns. Make sure that they're dead. Let's maybe target this one deep in the forest. High explosive. Give me 3 per gun. The accuracy is quite good. Immediate action, yes. Fire immediately. Let's go. And once you're finished with that, we will see if we can allocate more fire missions to you. Or is the gun dead already? You know, they look kind of dead to me. In that case... cancel the strike. Call it in on this gun here instead. Hit them. Okay, so far the enemy attack amounts to infantry trying to push out of the forest, covered by anti-tank guns. That's not too much. Nothing that can't be handled. This is good. I have one of my 3.7 centimeter anti-tank guns here. That's a good weapon to target the enemy gun. If you guys can land a nice shot on them. Looks like they are landing shots on you right now. Nope, that was actually a hit towards the gun, and it looks like a few crew members are dead. But you are registered as broken now. Track and wheel are damaged. And the commander is down. But that's still okay. They are still shooting. I believe they will be able to accomplish this. This gun will go down. Yeah, that was a good hit. That was a good hit. They are not having a great time here. Very good. Continue. Okay, the infantry with the half-tracks is well on its way to secure this forest. Let me bring a little bit more organization into this whole thing. But I would love to do that once the gun is actually killed. Let's see, we can take these machine gun units And we can move them to the edge of the forest to provide... Oh! The situation is developing up here. We ran into a lot of enemies. They have trenches out in the open. So I need to get these guys involved. That will happen, that's not an issue. I might have to get these guys involved in the firefight. You're free to open fire. This position will be able to provide some nice flanking fire on these enemies. Very good, very nice. Now, what else do we have here that can be used to good effect? We can, of course, move up the command unit to provide moral support for these guys. Just move there. What else can we bring? We have machine guns, but they are set up in a nice position, I believe, from where they can support well. However, they would be better used if they could get into this tree line here. So let's have them do that. Let's bring the machine guns up to this position. You will move up to here. You will move up to here. The commander will go here, and this one over here. And all of you start walking. Good. The flares are helping me to see the enemy units, so that's always a good thing to do. I'm taking light losses so far, but with these units advancing to the edge of the tree line, I will have numerical superiority, I think, and I'll be able to fight them much better. Back here, these units did get out of their vehicles again. Doesn't matter for now. I will deal with that in just a moment. I first need to make sure that the forest here is secured. And I need to hurry up with that. So the scouts, I believe they took some losses, but they're still okay. Stay where you are. I will have the half-track units move up. Or immobilized, right? Bogged down. You're not bogged down, you're just sitting behind these useless trucks. Pull the thing in reverse and you will see that you're not bogged down. There you go. Now, that's better. Stop that. I would love if these guys could please get back into their damn trucks. This one caused the whole mess in the first place. I'm not sure I will be able to get my units through this right now. We'll see. Okay, this half-track, please try to get down here. Let's see if the road is still usable, despite these stupid trucks. Also have a machine gun here that's of no use. Let's actually move that in between these houses. Yeah, the trucks are creating a nice roadblock that the AI has a bit of an issue navigating around. Captives taken. Oh, that's interesting. These guys up here are starting to surrender. I mean, it's understandable. They suddenly are facing a lot of Germans and they're receiving flanking fire from machine guns. They're not having a good time. They're really not having a good time. You, for some reason, you stopped moving. Which is not what I wanted. Please go there. As ordered. You also stop moving. Go here. I can bring up these scouts as well, just to fill up the ranks. But we are able to put some good pressure on those enemies, so all is good. All is well. All is not well here, where there's still an active gun that we need to deal with. Bring down an artillery strike. The observer will take care of this. The observer is not allowed to open fire by himself. I don't want him to give away his position. Alright. No activity on the right flank, which is fine by me. I'm pretty sure there are BT-5s in that forest, and I would like them to remain there, to be honest. Okay, now let's finally start. Oh, some guys took losses here. Oh, that's not too terrible. You are machine. Oh, this is the machine gun squad. Okay, machine guns. I will want you to go to this position here and this position there, and your vehicles will follow you to those positions, and you will provide cover onto the farmstead. Your truck, yeah, it's one of those stupid idiots. Let's see. Your heavy weapons commander will follow you, of course. Okay, that's you guys. Now the other guys, I want you to start an advance into the forest. And this is where we will be ending today's video. I think the battle so far has been quite interesting. And next week we will see if the other Panzer Grenadier Company will be able to smash through towards the farmstead. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, have some great days and goodbye.